What is wrong with us humans? Sometimes it feels like we don't even know how to be human anymore. Like we're just existing, surviving, shrinking ourselves to fit into places that were never meant to hold us. Lately, I've been feeling like I'm growing out of a box that I've been locked into for many years. And some days that growth feels very beautiful, and on other days, it just feels terrifying. Life hasn't been gentle for me, and I know that I'm not alone in that. Between the system, work, expectations, family, relationships, it feels like you're constantly being shaped, judged, corrected, and measured. You get passed over, for example, promotion. People take advantage of your kindness, and you give more than you receive. And slowly and quietly, they chip away at pieces of you, and until one day you wake up and you suddenly realize that you don't feel valued, you don't feel seen, and you don't recognize yourself anymore. That is why mental health matters so much to me, because it's not just about feeling okay, it's about becoming, and becoming who you were before the world told you to be smaller, before fear taught you to stay quiet, before survival mode became your personality. If your mental health is neglected, your growth gets delayed, and no one talks. No one talks enough about how much strength it takes to keep going when you feel invisible. For example, I don't feel valued in my job right now. And honestly, the job market is very scarce, as everyone know. It's competitive and unforgiving. Um, However, for so long I stayed. I told myself I should be grateful. I told myself this was just how it is. But deep down, I knew I was shrinking myself even more. So I decided to look elsewhere, to take myself out of the box that people and even myself I've put myself in for many years. That alone actually took courage. I managed to land myself two interviews, and on the day before one of them, that voice showed up in my head, the anxiety, the depression, and it said, "Don't bother going. You're not good enough. They won't choose you anyway." It was loud, it was persistent, and it was just trying to put me back into that familiar box. But this time I recognized it, and I said, "No, enough is enough." I said, I'm going to both interviews. I'm going to give myself a chance because I am worth it and I deserve it. Not because I was scared, but because I was just tired of fear deciding about my future. That moment mattered more to me than the outcome. So, this is a message to you. If you've ever felt undervalued at work, if you've ever been overlooked, underestimated, or taken for granted, if life has chipped away at you piece by piece, I want you to know this, that you're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not asking for too much. You might just be outgrowing the box that you've been placed in for many years. I would really like to hear from you guys if you've ever stayed somewhere that was shrinking you, if you've ever talked yourself out of an opportunity the same way I was going to do, and if you've ever had to choose yourself when fear was loud. If you feel comfortable sharing your story, then please go ahead and share it, not to compare, but to connect, because healing doesn't happen alone. I feel as if growth is easier when we know that we're not trying this alone. And before closing, I just want to say I'm not going to give up on myself anymore, even when it's hard, even when I'm scared. I'm learning how to stay alive, not just to exist. Before I close, I just want to say I'm not going to give up on myself anymore, even when it's hard, even when I'm feeling scared. I'm learning how to stay alive and not just to exist. And I will always prioritize my mental health because that is really important. Without a healthy mind, then you're broken. Thank you for being here and let us grow together. Remember to like and subscribe, and please go ahead and leave your comment. I am waiting.